Welcome back, folks. Well, yes, we are. We're ready for the dyno now. But I want to share the follow-up between last week and this week. And what we went through, we scrambled, and we're good to go. So, big lesson learned here. We'll talk about low retention ring packs, specifically oil control rings. So I'm going to post a video here, just quick, inside this video of after we ran this thing for a bit, we started getting smoke on the driver's side, and it was pretty bad. It was worse really than it was before. So I sent a video to Aaron Salisbury down at in Arkadelphia at Kuntz Performance, and like he said, there's only two places it could be. It's either sucking it in from the valve guide, or like a seal, valve seal, or an oil ring, and namely an oil control ring. So I said, good grief. So we pulled the number one plug, and I'm going to show you a picture of it in this video, but we pulled all the plugs, and number one was shiny and oily looking, and it just wasn't right. And I knew, I said, no, that's the one that's probably smoking here. So after talking to my machine shop, they do a lot of LS engines, and Sean over there at Hunt's, he said, look, buddy, that much oil, that much smoke, he said, it's probably the oil control ring. So we disassembled it, got it in. I think we started on it Monday, pulled it back off the stand, pulled the driver's side, or excuse me, driver's side head off for number one. Sure enough, pulled that piston, and I'll put it in the pictures how these looked on the piston. But I'll put it in the pictures how these. But yep, there it is right there. You can see how it's all warped. What happened was I had this thing in there, thought I had it in there like it needed to be, but that damn thing came out and it jumped over in the other groove. What I assume happened. So it was, you'll see on the pictures with the piston, it was hanging off. So I ordered just one ring pack, same part number, for that piston. And we didn't even change the top, the first or second. The rings, those rings looked great. And got it back together. And today we got it on the test stand. And hallelujah. Hallelujah. So I'm going to show you here in a second. We finally have a non-burning, oil-burning Hemi, and it sounds magnificent. It sounds even better than it did last week, and it doesn't smoke like a mosquito truck. So I just want to talk about these oil control rings for a second, just for a second. And my experience now and what I've learned, my lessons learned, is when I put these new ones on, I don't even use a piston hammer. I'm not going to do it. I use my thumbs and I use my fingers, and we went over it with a magnifying glass, made sure they were all in, and I use my sleeve as I always do. I like to use the sleeves, piston sleeves. I know some people like using the adjustable ones, and that's fine, but I like the tapered sleeves. So got it in there, got my skirt started, and I literally used my thumbs and it just pushed right in. And I said, well, there's no other way that we're gonna know. I put, the bearings were beautiful. That was one thing about it. I looked at the bearings and they were just like they'd never been used before. So put them in, and I'll show you in the video. What it looks like now. So here we go. So, lesson learned. From now on, my next Hemi, and I actually want to do another one, believe it or not, as many problems as this engine gave me, I'm ready to do another one because I want to apply all those things I learned to this engine, or from this engine to the next. Now, even if I do an LS, I think they're similar in the ring packs, that they have the real skinny ring packs. So you guys out there, I did have some people tell me that LS guys actually tell me, were kind enough, they said, man, you're not the only person that ever happened to. They're not like old, small blocks, big blocks. They are a pain in the rear. And you just have to really take a lot of time with those. So I have texted Mr. Aaron Salisbury at Kuntz Performance. So trying to get our dyno date. And once we get the dyno date, we're going to let everybody know. We're going to show it. First time out with the dyno and the failures and all the stupid mistakes I made, I think we hit 517. And that was at maybe 5,400, and that's where it would stop. It didn't want to climb anymore. Of course, cam timing was way off. So now we retarded it back where it needed to be, verified it per the cam card. It's at 109, stalled 109.5, and center line for the intake center line, and it's supposed to be installed at 110. So I figure that's about as good as it can get. So yeah, you're building one of these engines. I'm just going to tell you right now, pay attention to those oil control rings. I am going to celebrate today in ways that you cannot imagine. And then I'm really going to celebrate after it goes to dyno if it hits numbers that we hope to hit. So anyway, just real short, thought I'd share with everybody from last week to where we are now. But I'm sharing all my mistakes with everybody. And I've never, ever had this kind of problem with any of my legacy engines. I have had problems. I've made mistakes where I did have to tear them down, and they were self-induced, but not like this. The older engines, it doesn't matter if it's a GM, Ford, or Chrysler, or AMC. Technology's all pretty much the same. Those rings are all pretty much, they're a lot thicker and much more forgiving. But yeah, so hope everybody got something out of this, and I appreciate everybody watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And another thing real quick is we made a goal to make Mo Party next year with the Barracuda. So it's going to be all hands on that. Of course, we got our customers' cars like Barry's Mustang. It's going to be well done here pretty soon. We're just waiting for the bell housing to come back from the machine shop. They still haven't finished it yet, but as soon as it comes back, we're back on the Mustang. But in between that, Barracuda is going to be at Mo Party next year. That's the goal. So anyway, again, yeah, thanks everybody. Please like, share, and subscribe. Y'all have a great weekend. Thanks everybody.